Congratulations.
Hey.
Congrats.
That's not bad. I know how the people on Sputnik felt.
Yeah, that's great. We just got the show on the air without John G.
Without anybody.
You're very good. You're very good.
Me and you. I mean, thanks to Junji for the list of, instructions that I think even the most simple human being could probably figure out.
Turn switch to the left.
Correct. But there are 18 steps. Right. And then, another 7 if you count breakdown, which he's also included. So when we go off the air, we won't break it so we can continue to do our shows twice a week.
He's going to be mad, though. I don't have my Beau Bock mug.
Well, I thought it was nice of you. We've been sold out, and they're obviously in high demand because it's a great mug. And we got a request from one of your neighbors who's actually not sick, not feeling well, and you gave her your Beau Bock mug, your last one, your personal Beau Bock mug.
Well,
it's unbelievable. You're so kind.
Reading a story about Mother Teresa, and it kind of got to me. I said I've got to be a better person.
Is that right?
And I gave up, most of my, like worldly things. All right, and mug being one of them.
You are very simple.
But it's
everything except for your black attire.
Well,
your wardrobe.
My black attire is for a reason. The reason is when I got up, I didn't feel like looking. So, all right, give me that. That's I do it every day.
Bobo.
Actually, I had a. No, never mind.
It's good to see you, man.
You too.
A little disappointed with the outcome of the basketball game last night, but hey, what are you going to do?
You know
it's process, right?
You know what? They competed like hell. Don't forget about all the new pieces on that thing.
Everybody, for sure.
Like a month from now, we win that game. But it was. They're fun to watch.
Oh man, that's the understatement. Another great crowd down there last night.
Yeah.
Nobody really cheering for the other team. Everybody in that building is a Hawks fan, which is so unusual for us. It's exciting.
The city's definitely ignited.
Oh man, we went on Saturday night, for the home opener, which turned out to be a sellout. I mean, it seemed pretty full. What a great night for a basketball game! I mean, it was just a great environment. Had a great time. It was easy to get down there. Took Marta. The fans were great. Food was great. The entertainment as always. Harry the Hawk was,
he's your favorite.
Is he your favorite? So underrated.
Is he your favorite?
It used to be Chief Nakahoma, of course, the inspiration to all of us.
Chief Nakahoma's the granddaddy.
Right.
And for all of you mascots that have spent some time having the honor of being a school or institution or association's mascot is a hell of an honor.
Well, Harry the Hawk is that's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the dream job. One day, actually, I can't even say because those years have passed me by.
You still got it.
Maybe when I pass, I'll transcend into an actual hawk.
Yeah. No, there are times when you really look goofy. and I say to myself, he's still got it.
Yeah.
He's still got it.
Yeah, sometimes I, come out with Emmy Lou and I get her with a little squirt flower.
Oh.
Hey, smell this.
Yeah, I know. Kids love you.
Yeah, they do. The balloon tricks, making elephant ears and stuff like that.
Squeaks.
Like Bob Weiss. Bob Weiss would do all that stuff.
Oh.
He was great.
See, now there was a basketball coach for you.
Hey, how about Lloyd Pierce, man? I'm watching him work these officials all game. They respect him. You can tell the conversations that they have.
And you know why? Because he respects them.
Right.
And he's not yelling at them. But when they go by him or when they happen to be there when there's a foul shot or something, he's in their ear.
Well, I don't know if you saw at the end of the game.
He's like doing Nitschke in their ear,
When Embiid took that fade away and took like 4 steps back. I mean, it was just crazy how they didn't call that. And so Pierce goes crazy. He also goes crazy the time where Embiid dunks. And Trey gets the technical, right? So anyway, so when they missed that call at the end, that was so blatant, the travel, and ultimately ended up being a huge play in the game.
Yeah,
Pierce is there talking to the guy, and the guy, I could read his lips. He goes, "Lloyd, I owe you one. I owe you one." He was like, "You owe me one?" Like, really? The biggest play of the game, and you owe me one? He's like, it is what it is, you know?
You
Like
know what? I was watching that. I didn't see that. That's good.
Yeah.
I was watching, and you're right. That was a big deal, that play. And you sure he said that?
I'm positive.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because, I mean, he was like, look at the freaking replay.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, look at it. The guy took 8 steps, and he showed, he's like, oh, you want? What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
And instead of showing his ass and getting thrown out of the game and going, as you say, icky baluki, he treated the situation with respect, maybe with the, you know, the mindset of, hey, you know, one day down the road.
He owes me one.
Right.
Hey, remember how you owed me one?
Right. Hey, it's good to see you.
You derelict.
Yeah, I saw you were doing the game tonight. Just remember, if things get tight in the fourth,
Right.
just throwing it out there.
I'm telling the media you pay me back every night.
So what do you think? I mean, you know, here we are 3 games in. What's your thoughts of the team?
I love the team. It's gonna, but there's gonna be a lot of games like last night, as they learn each other's nuances and you know, where they like them, all that stuff that goes with, you know, playing with guys. You know?
Right. You know,
and that's going to just, you know, grow as the season goes along.
Yeah, this Hunter kid is so talented. He's so talented. I mean, when they switch, you know, they talk about having positionless players in the NBA.
Right.
That's what it's all about, is being able to just, when there's a screen, just, I mean, and switch everything.
Boom.
And these guys, these Hawks, when you've got him and Reddish out there on the wings with Collins and these interchangeable
size and length.
I mean, they're a completely different team defensively because of those 2 kids.
Yeah. No, it's really impressive. What I'm hoping is that's not too impressive. I really don't want to go to the playoffs this year. Yeah,
that's you always say that is such a terrible take.
No, we need one more piece.
But dude, you got $75 million. The next pieces are free agents.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the next step, baby.
Maybe.
Yeah, by the way, Oklahoma City, again, people talking about Steven Adams. 2 years left on his deal. They would probably want some expiring contracts back as well. That's fine. We got plenty of those. But we would be on the hook for 2 years of Steven Adams. And after what Embiid did last night.
You know what? How many more years can we get with Steven Adams?
That's what I'm thinking.
My thought. Because, you know, he fits us like hand in glove. I mean, that guy is our style of basketball, and he would be an enforcer. He'd be an eraser. He'd give us the schmaltz that we don't.
Him and Embiid would be worth the price of admission.
Oh, Embiid would be. You know,
he would know once he got here what his job would be. Right. And not to discredit Embiid, man, he's a tremendous player. I mean, he really is a freak of nature.
Except Brent Brown, how are they using him? Why? How really?
He just does whatever he wants.
And he's never near the basket. Stop.
Hardly.
Stop. Will you please?
I'm so
He
excited.
likes to handle the ball at the top of the key, all kinds of nonsense.
Deal, yeah. That's his deal. By the way, second game, back-to-back tonight on the road in Miami. Miami -8. Jimmy Butler's back. So we'll see. We always play Miami pretty tight.
Miami off last night?
Yeah. But I think what I like about this matchup is that it's Butler's first game back. That's a big deal because he's the guy.
Yeah.
How's that all going to play out?
Right.
Who goes to the bench? I would take the Hawks +8 tonight. I think people are going to be scared because they played last night and Trey looked tired in the fourth quarter. He looked gassed. So,
but, you know, a young team like us, you know, bounces back better.
Right.
I mean, we don't have a veteran on that team except for Vince, you know, Bob Rathman's favorite player in the history
of all time.
God, oh man, look at me. Oh, he just got up off the bench. Bob, stop. You're wetting yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. Nick.
So Neek, he was talking about last night Bruno Fernando, who, by the way, oh man, Alex,
I like.
Yeah, I do too. And so Bruno Fernando rolled his ankle, and everybody thought it was devastating when he did it.
Right.
And he said last night, Andre Aldridge came in and did like a little snippet on it, saying that when he did it, he thought he was done, and all of a sudden the next day he was like nothing ever happened. And Neek goes, "Yeah, this was young ankles." And it's true.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in your 20s and you get hurt like that, it takes a day or two, man.
Especially when something's not stretched or obviously broken or something. You know, you bounce back like crazy.
Right.
Probably take an anti-inflammatory.
Or two. Or some CBD oil.
Oh.
Yeah, some CBD oil. That's,
This is East Eden Pharmacy, and they put the CBD oil together right, across the border in Tennessee. There's the best stuff I ever had.
they mix it for you right there, right in front of you, like guacamole at a Mexican restaurant.
No, they don't.
They don't do that?
See, you mock.
I'm not mocking. I've used it. Look at me.
You mock. You look good.
Thank you.
You didn't look so good with the C. You look like a big furry character, in fact. I'm glad you got on that.
Yeah. Do you know that they just allowed that in international mascotting? CBD.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the NCAA said, players can sell their likeness now.
They voted unanimously to do that. I think they knew.
They knew, but there were
Yeah.
also no one there with a backbone.
So what are they saying? Like, I think 2023 that they're gonna.
Which is good, because now the high school kids get a chance to slow down and be able to catch that when that comes in.
Right, and then
You don't want to graduate this year, next year. No, you got to slow it down 2 years.
slow it down 2 years. Maybe slack off on the academics a little bit.
Not important. You're going to be making a lot of money in the NBA.
It really is. It's opening up a whole new chapter to amateur athletics. I mean, I don't know that I like it. I don't know that I don't like it. It's just going to be
I don't know
interesting.
either. My instinct is not to like it because, I never grew up with this, not the way it was. I think the NCAA is maybe the most voluminous athletic institution in the world. Nobody handles that many entities. I mean, they really do a remarkable job. Some things they can't do, and they fall down on, for instance, enforcement and stuff like that. But think about what they do. I mean, how many other institutions could do? I'm talking about, think about all the basketball games all over the country. Think about all the football games on a Saturday. I mean, how does all that stuff, get that? Well, that's the NCAA structure.
That's why they charge so much for their services.
I don't know what they charge, but they're all making a hefty fee. I'm
Well,
sure.
I don't think they pay taxes.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big part of it. And I wonder if them doing this maybe is like a give and take with, the federal government as far as maintaining that status, I guess.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me. But it's a whole new deal, man. But yeah, if you're a young man out there and you're in the 8th grade and you're 6'5", 195 pounds,
Slow down.
close the books.
Slow down.
Close the books. More time in the gym.
You're going to graduate too early, young man. I hate when they do that.
Do they?
Guys call him young man. This young man. What? Well, who are you?
Well, if you call him a kid, it's disrespectful.
I call him a kid all the time. He's on our team. He's one of our guys. He's one of our guys. He's one of our kids.
Yeah.
It's not disrespectful. That's indigenous to the world of competitive athletics.
You got Georgia, Florida this weekend, Saturday, 6.5. Georgia's favorite, but I take Florida all day.
I don't. I think you're gonna be surprised.
I think Florida's pretty good, man.
They are.
Florida. The thing about Florida is that they're battle tested. We're not battle tested.
Oh, that's a good point. The other thing is, they got rid of that crutch of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Felipe Franks. And this quarterback
It ignited the team.
Trash can play.
Hey, your return of your old friend Larry Grantham. For those of you who don't know, Beau's a big fan of Larry Grantham's defensive philosophy.
Todd Grantham.
It was Larry Grantham for the longest. When we used to do our show in the mornings on 790, there was an old NFL guy named Larry Grantham.
Yeah.
And you used to always say
He was
Larry
a linebacker
Grantham.
for the Jets.
And people would just text us and say, please tell Beau it's not Larry freaking Grantham. And this went on for years. And then at that point, Beau just had to keep calling him Larry Grantham.
Well, I grew up with Larry Grantham playing linebacker for the Jets.
It's like, Georgia Swift?
Yeah.
He's Stromae Swift. I've been calling him Stromae Swift, the basketball player from LSU. I can't get to myself to call him DeAndre. He's Stromae.
Yeah.
So I can relate to Larry and Todd Grantham.
Right.
What time? It's a 3:30 game, right?
At least they're not calling him Taylor Swift. That wouldn't be good.
No.
Hey, the other thing is, I was wondering if I could call my attorney today. Not that I have an attorney, but the Ray Giudices, the
Sure,
guys that
people
we're familiar with, and find out if we can sue Arthur for dereliction of duty.
Yeah, I just think that he and Dan are so close.
That's so stupid. It's so stupid.
But he
It's
can't
disgusting.
get past that.
You can't.
It's his buddy.
Everyone's
He
his buddy.
respects him.
He wants to put his name in the rafters already.
It's one
Hey,
thing.
Arthur, put him in the Home Depot rafters. These are our rafters. These rafters belong to Falcons who have given their blood and guts all those years legitimately, and to be desecrated by you and the names that you put up there, you have no conscience. Seriously, you have no conscience. You are guilty of dereliction of duty. Look at this. Look at him hugging. Look at him hugging Dan after the game.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, well,
I didn't see that.
This. You show this to a jury, and they'd have Arthur owning a team in Siberia.
So the new thing they're saying now
Look at this. Where can I show?
is they're putting all the blame on Beasley, right? It's all Beasley's fault. Hold on. And the only reason we paid Beasley is because he's got the same agent as Julio and Sanu.
Right.
Or somebody. I can't remember who the other one was. Or Grady Jarrett. Sorry, Grady Jarrett. So our two biggest pending free agents, to work out deals with them, we sacrificed a year of numbnuts in hopes that we could get him turned around, led by the coaching boy wonder.
So stupid.
Well, that's what they did.
His concept of defense is just so stupid.
Yeah, if you've got
it just irritates me so much.
You can do that if you've got four
All
Hall
pros.
of Famers on your defense.
Right.
You can do that.
If you have the fearsome foursome up front, you can do it.
Those poor guys. And what about the blown assignments? I mean,
Plus,
go
the
back
other
to
thing is, you give me an aggressive defensive coach, and I can use Beasley as a shooter, move him all over the place, and just fire him.
Well, I think the guys
Just
would
fire 'em at
respond
the
to
quarterback.
that. I think they're tired of doing what they're doing.
Of course they are. This is I played this at Miami. Read and react. Bullshit. Read and react, holding up, and then you react.
Right.
No, man. You come through the gaps.
Man.
You force things. You force the play.
Right. Take some chances, man. They are boring.
That's
as
what
hell
defense
to watch.
is. Defense is psychotic.
Right.
That's what you want. You want
Taking
Chinese
chances.
bandits out there.
Taking chances, make mistakes. I got your back.
That's what the backside does.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got guys pointing the finger and doing all this.
Yeah,
The communication
yeah.
is just terrible. And that can't be good for camaraderie. It's definitely not good for the brotherhood. Definitely not good for the brotherhood.
No, you go in the locker room and guys are pissed off at the guy who missed an assignment because it made them look bad.
Right.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You
It's
get
bad
the whole-
news for everybody.
See, all the things that we've just talked about are above Arthur's head. He has no idea. He has no concept of what this thing, of what this culture of competitive athletics is all about.
Can I say, give a little credit where credit's due? They were talking about Belichick getting his 300th win this week, and that in itself is remarkable. I think he can get Shula in 5 or 6 years if he coaches that long, and there's no reason to think that he won't. But do you know who's right there with him in that conversation as far as is New Orleans? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, they are as legit as an organization in sports, and they just have to be
They
just loving this.
Well, they really are. You know what? And they've always operated. Tell me why this? Maybe because their media is the only media in the league with fewer guys than us. And we've closed our deal. I'm sure they haven't closed theirs, but they're always under the radar. I mean, think about what New Orleans has done. They had the perennial contenders that Drew Brees has been so effective. Not my favorite guy, but a great quarterback. And they've always operated under the radar. Oh, here come the Saints, big game. But no kidding. They're lying in the weeds.
Right.
That's why when we went in the playoffs, the second year of Jerry Glanville, we went to the playoffs. Our first game was in New Orleans. We beat the crap out of them.
That was that was like
In
Hazlitt and all those guys. I'm talking about since he's been there and since Breeze
who's
has been
been
there. Since Peyton has been there.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying back
they
then.
trade for Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Yeah.
Because they know Breeze is getting long in the tooth. Sure enough,
He's also getting old.
Week one.
He's getting older. I had no idea he was getting long in the tooth, and that's got to look freaky.
He's
old.
that.
He's an older man. Old in the tooth. God almighty.
It's not old in the tooth.
Grandpa, continue with the show, please.
And there's a double to left center field, and the Braves win the game. By the way, Braves are going to make Donaldson an offer.
Good.
Yeah, just read that today.
Good. He's for the Braves what Steven Adams would be for the Hawks.
A little bit longer in the tooth, but yeah.
We can file him down. I got a great dentist down here. Great dentist. Waldron.
So he works
dentistry.
on wooden teeth too.
He works on wooden teeth. I tell you what, I had a knot in here. In this one,
yeah,
he filed it right out.
Oh Lord! So we got a bye week. We don't have to worry about losing this week, so we can rest. Arthur's going to think about things. They're going to analyze.
You know what? That's another word, but in fact, I wrote it down. Oh, I'm sorry. Their word is evaluate.
Evaluate.
We're going to evaluate.
Yeah.
That's.
And no, we're not happy about it. How could we be happy about it?
That was Mike Smith. We're going to evaluate. We're going to look at the video and we'll evaluate, make the proper corrections.
Well, what's the language that Arthur used the other day? He said he was going to evaluate. So that shit goes downhill. It's the same rhetoric. It's the same language. Why do you think you got two different coaches, and Mike Smith and Dan Quinn, saying the same thing? Now you got Arthur saying the same thing.
And Arthur can't even recognize that the tendencies between what Dan's doing and what Mike Smith did while he was awake.
And why do I feel like I'm with you that Rich McKay is sitting up in some temple saying, this is what you have to say, Arthur. This is how you have to,
Exactly.
I really believe, because there's nobody else in there that could be doing it.
You know how he hugs Dan Quinn? Imagine what he's doing with Richie. I didn't mean for that to come out like that. But, however, Richie is telling him everything the same. And Richie is the guy who got the media thrown out. Richie is the guy who gave me the dirty look for asking Arthur and Mike Smith and Thomas why we're not a physical football team.
But what we just broke down with the consistent approach from the language and the message that you're trying to get across to the fan base and the media about we're going to evaluate. We have been hearing this forever. And
it's like a bogus word. It's a cover-up word.
Right.
When you don't know what the hell you're talking about, say we're going to evaluate. A football coach said, this is the way we do it. If we don't do it that way, a football coach roams that locker room like, hey, man.
Right.
Well,
you got the same mentality in all sports. I mean, when it's completely unacceptable. I mean, Steve Kerr the other night, when Golden State got blown out by 40 or whatever, he said the same thing. He's like, we suck.
Right.
These guys got to learn. They haven't won anything.
Right.
Saban will tell you the same thing. Dabo Swinney early in the year when they almost lost a close game, he didn't say anything about the players. It was all about him. He's like, I just completely dropped the ball this week.
I saw Kirby yesterday. It's the same way. He's the same way as like Saban. I mean, he comes in that room. His eyes don't wander. He doesn't look around the room. He's focused on the podium, goes to the podium, microphone.
So he takes Adderall.
He still doesn't look up. You know what I mean? And he tells what he's got to tell. And he comes in at the stroke of noon. And by 12:30, he's gone.
Listen, here's the deal, though. Here's the one thing about Kirby, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. He's in that good old boy Georgia fraternity bullshit. He's one of those guys.
Yeah,
I don't care if he's a football coach or not. He's one of those guys, and those guys suck.
I know. I don't. No. It starts with the governor.
Right.
It starts with the governor, goes through Billy Payne, and all of those guys smoking Marlboros with no socks and belts with little whales on them.
So you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I told you that's one of the mafias that we've got in town. We've got the good old boy mafia. We've got a black mafia. We've got a Jewish mafia. And if you're not in those groups, man, you're having trouble in Atlanta.
And they come down and he sits across from you. Hey, man, I haven't seen you in so long. It's good to see you, my friend. My friend has what's your name? What's your wife's name again? Sarah. How's Sarah doing?
How is she doing? You hit Sarah. That's what they do.
But
then they disparage you.
I'm pulling for Kirby, but I'm just telling you. Like, that's the one thing I couldn't.
I'm sorry you said that. I'm sorry you said that.
Because I know who he runs with. I know these
sorry
people.
you said that. It reminded me of that and made me think about that. I'm sorry you
private
did that.
jets going to Sea Island.
For the weekend. Well, come on. We're going to Bimini. And we're gonna,
You're going where?
We're going to Bimini sail fishing.
Exactly. That's where they are. They're down there. And then find a linebacker in Valdosta on the way. You know what I mean? Write it off as a business expense.
Of course.
Who's going to know?
No, you're right. It is so much. Boom. It is unbelievable.
Right.
So much.
That's tough to break that mold, though, man. That is so ingrained in who.
Vince the Prince. Oh, he's like.
Right. Adams. I mean, all of them.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, and it's like.
Yeah, Vince the Prince is kind of like a gargoyle for them. He's right. That's the other statue he's got. That's the other statue he's got like 5 of them on the Georgia campus. And then the one
he's got a gargoyle, which the kids decorate for Halloween. Vince the Prince.
And Barbara gets so pissed when they decorate that thing.
Excuse me. Well, everything's ahead of him. I know everybody says it, but it's true. Fromm hasn't been anything close to what he's supposed to be. They've had a couple weeks to figure some things out.
No, that's,
But here's the one.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
But Florida's going to be ready. Florida's going to be coming after it.
I think we are too, though. I mean, we have not overachieved, for lack of a better term, this year yet.
I thought the second half against Kentucky was the best I'd seen them play all season. I know it's Kentucky, but they did. Their mentality, they were flying the ball. The offensive line was mauling people.
Well, still, when you think about that in a weak Kentucky team or whatever, in the SEC, everybody will knock you ding dong in the dirt.
Right.
It's going to be a physical football game. So while Kentucky may not have the skilled players we do, it's still a physical ballyhoo down there in the trenches.
How about Tennessee winning again? They beat Mississippi State, and they come back last week. They beat South Carolina by 20. They got UAB this week. They got a chance to go to a bowl game. I'd like to see Tennessee finish out strong.
I'd like to see Tennessee finish strong, too. Tennessee should be part and parcel of the SEC. And
SEC East
one of the schools that we look up at, as they always were. They always were a football institution. But I don't want Jeremy Pruitt to be a part of that. Well, or maybe I do, because Jeremy Pruitt is going to take his lumps from us as we go forward. He doesn't have.
But yeah, I want, just like when Dan Mullen took the job at Florida for McElwain, I wanted Florida to be better. I want Tennessee to be better. Nobody wants to see Alabama beat Florida by Tennessee by 40 points every year.
Yeah, of course.
I watched. What game did I watch this?
Tennessee, by the way, has great players.
Yeah. Yeah, you noticed that. I mean, they just don't have a quarterback.
No.
They don't have a quarterback. I didn't get to see the Michigan-Notre Dame game, but that's obviously not good for Georgia. Notre Dame did not play well, I presume.
No. Remember how I always would say that the two schools up north with the southern quickness are Notre Dame and Michigan?
And Ohio State.
Michigan is, now in the last couple of years, Michigan has surpassed Notre Dame in terms of quickness and speed, and I'm surprised at that.
Well, good for Michigan. You know who else looks really good that nobody's talking about is Penn State.
Penn State is under the radar.
They're always under the radar. It's almost like, well, they'll lose to Ohio State, and it'll be Ohio State and Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game, and that's it.
I'm just not an Ohio State fan. Just like they're great and all that, I understand. But you know what? I'd rather take a shower at Penn State than root for Ohio State. Really.
Don't say that too loud.
No.
Don't say
By the way,
that.
What's with you and these water bottles? Every week you come in with a different water bottle, and they're all exotic type of. What is it? What could possibly have originally been in that?
Oh, so what we do is the Heisers. We buy these. We got a couple dozen of them, and then we filter our own water.
Do you?
Yeah, and then we put them in these, and we take them out wherever we are in the town in the world, and then we take them home and we wash them. So we're not wasting plastic or drinking out of hoses or stuff like that.
You're a great American.
I'm a great American. Well, a great human. It's not just for America; it's
No.
for humanity,
Yeah.
for the planet.
I mean, that plastic bottle's not going to end up on some.
I've had this thing for over a
Indian
year.
Shore.
No, it's not going to end up in
Really?
India. Yeah.
No, you couldn't have had that for a year.
Yeah.
Without your name on it, without a handle, how could you have that for a year?
I'm done. I don't have anything. Oh, Tiger! How
Ah,
awesome was that,
I
man?
hope he's coming alive.
He looks thin. He looks like he's
Yeah,
lost some
he's
weight.
always in shape.
Well, I didn't
mean-
say he was out of shape, but he looks
No,
thin.
I know what you
like
mean,
typically
yeah.
he's got muscle
Yeah,
on him. He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like he's, you know,
Oh, you think he's like he's not
lost some
bulky?
muscle. Yeah. Yeah, he looked thin. Like
He,
he,
might,
looked like
he might have done something just to lengthen his muscles.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking because, you know, taking weight off that knee.
You know, maybe somebody said to him, you know, Tiger, you're too much here, too much there. That's what kinesiologists can do. They'll evaluate like that and say your muscles need to be longer.
Sure.
And here's a set of exercises that will help you do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
But he did. He looked visibly thinner to me. I
didn't
saw a
notice
picture
that.
of him, you know, where they were promoting the event. You know, when he played in the Pro-Am the day before.
Mm-hmm.
There was questions of whether he was going to play in the Pro-Am. Like, he went out there because it was a money drop. You know, he didn't go out
Right.
there to Japan because he wanted to play golf.
right. No, he wanted to play against some smaller people. Because, you know, the people...
Like Rory McIlroy.
Yeah,
like
Rory,
this big. He's like a little
Rory
leprechaun.
and Artie. You know? All those-
Masayama!
Adios.
Masayama! No, that was cool. He was, you know, he was playing at home, but that was awesome for Tiger. How about the one thing I sent to you earlier in the week about the Hawks hiring that girl from the NBA, the salary cap expert.
Yeah.
She's going to handle all the salary cap stuff, and you know that way Schlink can just be a scout. And,
Right. Good. You know what? If I was a general manager, that's what I would do too. I mean, that's the area that
you worry
want,
about the money.
You want somebody constantly seeing that thing going, where it's evolving, where it's just explaining contract
Right.
closure to you, and you know, just someone's
And deal with the
got
agents.
that in their mind,
And deal with the agents.
jerky agents.
Yeah, and that way I can focus on making the team better.
Yeah.
You keep me informed. We meet once a day. We talk once a day.
Right.
Or you could do like the Falcons and get, I don't know, 15, 16. It's got to be an odd number because I think they vote. I think they pass around a hat and everybody puts their vote in, right? And then they put, somebody's got to win. So the no's have 7 and the yes has 6.
And then you got to report to Arthur.
So we're gonna
And tell him
cut
how
Matt
that vote
Bryant.
went. Yeah.
They cut Matt Bryant today.
No.
Yeah, he's done.
They brought in 2 kickers.
We just signed a South Korean. The kid from Auburn. Cool.
You know why? You know why we cut Matt Bryant today? Not because he missed. He was like, I think 10 of 14 or something. You know why we cut him? We cut him just because of salary. Save the money. We're not going anywhere, and this way we get a chance to develop a kicker.
I would think that his. Well, the thing with the kicker, they can all kick on an empty field, right? It's got to be a game.
Right.
Even though kicking at Mercedes-Benz with 15 Seahawks fans in the stands has got to. That's not really nerve-wracking.
No. Meaning, there was a.
Your psyche.
meaning that
Kicking
Matt
is all
Bryant-
about psyche. I mean, these guys can all kick.
Are you going to tell me about kicking now? You're going to tell me about kicking?
What do you think we do at mascot practice when the other guys are down there practicing?
You do
we
have to
kick footballs
Yeah,
through the thing with the kickers.
You got it. Like there's everything you hand out, you can kick.
I can kick left-footed, like Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Yes, I can.
oh my God.
But I got to be kicking in a fur boot because you got the big 4 toes.
Of course you do.
The 4 toes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
I was a cougar, so actually
You
I had
do
3
like-
toes.
Like something that looks like a camel toe. You know what I mean? And you just kick.
Yeah,
You kick.
yeah, kick it with the camel toe. That's enough for today.
We'll see everybody.
Yeah.